Hi everybody, here we have a small encounter battle from the Texas Revolution around about the time of the Battle of the Alamo in 1836. We'll be using black powder rules, and we'll also be using the Wargamer Aide-de-Camp game system, and we'll be using some custom insert cards from the Wargamer Aide-de-Camp Digital Horse and Musket Set 1. The scenario that we'll be playing is quite simple. We have a couple of Mexican columns that are converging on this pass, and they simply have to take this pass and start to exit the table to win. And the Texian forces are arranged on two hillsides either side of the pass to stop the Mexicans from getting through the pass and exiting. We can just see a couple of the units in the initial setup of the Texian forces, and they've got a single artillery piece placed in the pass with a couple of supporting skirmishing units to stop the Mexicans from dashing through at the beginning. Mexican cavalry arrives on one of the roads and they start moving up quite quickly. Their plan is quite simply to form up as quickly as possible and to try and charge home on the gun and skirmishing units that are holding the pass, to try and push their way through as quickly as possible. So here we see the Mexican cavalry brigade form up and advance as quickly as it possibly can. Unfortunately, it doesn't get enough moves to be able to charge home this turn, so I'll have to hope that the Texians don't manage to disorder them with firepower. Here we see some Texian cavalry moving up as reinforcements, and we also have some Mexican infantry in column also appearing along one of the main roads as well. Texian infantry on the hillsides now opens fire on the Mexican cavalry brigade that's moved up to try and take the pass. Musketry is very effective, and unfortunately for the Mexicans, the entire brigade is disordered and shaken and is effectively broken in one game turn. So this means the Mexicans are going to have to come up with a slightly different plan on how they're going to push their way through to victory through the pass. And here we see the Mexican cavalry brigade completely broken in one game turn. The Mexican command is quite low, so it's going to be difficult for them to maneuver their troops around the table, as their leadership ratings are not particularly good. And here we see some more Mexican troops advancing to start trying to attack the ridges where the Texian forces are occupying. A second Mexican cavalry brigade advance, but instead of charging the main pass, they're now going to try and take on the Texian cavalry reinforcements that arrived earlier. The Texian forces are being led by Jim Bowie, and we have a special rule for him if he blunders, that he is not able to perform any commands that turn. And this is down to either TB or his liking of the bottle, so you can make your own minds up which condition it is that stops him from actually doing anything for that turn. And here we can see the Mexican cavalry now getting into combat with the Texian cavalry that arrived as reinforcements, and this turns into a little battle in itself on the flank of the table, with neither side really getting an upper hand here. Mexican infantry is now trying to push the Texians off of the main ridge, but because of their command and leadership ratings, they're finding it quite difficult to maneuver the troops in the way that they want to. But we do see here that a militia brigade that's now come on is now forming up to attack the Texian line quite strongly. But the Texian forces managing to hold the Mexicans back with their superior musketry, and the Mexican militia, now fully formed up, is going to begin to try and advance. But we have a skirmishing unit of Tennesseans that are commanded by Davy Crockett move up into a rough terrain position, and they start causing casualties on the Mexican militia, which stops them from advancing. But then as the game goes on, the Mexicans suddenly get their troops organised and are able to put in a fairly formed attack, and the Texians unfortunately blunder. But what actually turns into quite a fortuitous attack breaks the strongest Mexican infantry unit that they had on the table, and effectively breaks the Mexican brigade, which is the end of the battle, and it's a win for the Texians.